slow process where your inner man, everything you've learned or everything you've built in, has to be stripped away constantly, layer after layer, like the onion, right? Just layer after layer, layer after layer. And sometimes you are in that position for a while. Same way Hamashiach was in that position for a while. And your inner man is going to be in that position. And he had 70, he had 12, then he had none. All right. And then he died with 2 people he knew nothing about. Well, I won't say, but they were strangers. We don't even know their name. But one had something in common with him. And what was that? Yeah. Say it. No, say it. Yes. Yes. One knew he was the key to him getting in. And that's the same thing Hamashiach knew. And he knew who he was. And the disciples didn't even know who he was. That man did. Now, how did that man know it? And the disciples that were with him knew. But, and another thing they had in common is that they both were dying a slow death. And at the time, the apostles were not. And that goes to show you, at the end of the day, the ones that are with you during this process are going to be the ones that will be with you when it's all said and done. It's not believing in Hamashiach. It is not just taking the Passover. It is not just keeping the holy days and the commandments or saying his name or even having that power. It is if you are with him during that slow, painful process. And that's what it means, the fellowship of his suffering. And 1 Peter brings it out a little more. 1 Peter, 5:1?
The elders which are among you I exhort, who am also an elder and a witness of the sufferings of Hamashiach,
right,
and also partaker of the glory that shall be revealed.
All right, so this is the same thing that the apostles say. You are what?
Witnesses of the suffering of Hamashiach and partakers of the glory that shall be revealed.
Now, according to what Shaul said, is if I am going to be partaker of his resurrection, I must be partaker of his what?
Suffering.
Suffering, all right? Now, go to chapter 4 in verse 1.
For as much then as Hamashiach hath suffered for us in the flesh, arm yourselves likewise with the same mind.
Right. What are you arming yourself with?
The same mind.
The same. So not the same body. Same mind, right? What?
For he that hath suffered in the flesh hath ceased from sin.
Right.
That he no longer should live the rest of his time in the flesh to the lust of men, but to the will of Elohim.
Right. And so that's the understanding, is that if you suffer, you are ceasing from sin.
If it's okay.
Yes.
My favorite scriptures in this chapter.
What?
Verse 12.
Verse 12. What does that say?
Beloved, think it not strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing has happened unto you.
Right.
But rejoice, inasmuch as ye are partakers of Hamashiach's sufferings,
right,
that when his glory shall be revealed, you may also be glad, also with exceeding joy.
Right. So there is no one without the other.
Thank you for indulging.
No, that is great. That is great. And so you are not going to take part in his resurrection unless you take part in his sufferings. And it's not presented that way in this faith, and no faith really. What does that really mean, to suffer with him? Because we think that a lot of times, if you look at the ancient writings of some of the religions, the faith that sprung off from the faith, although there was a lot of tribulation and suffering from believers, some believers volunteered to be killed because they thought that was the only way they were going to get in, is for them to give their lives. And now there's a lot of teaching now that eventually we're going to have to give our lives in order to get in, because we don't really understand all that is involved with this way of salvation. Some people would rather say, hey, I'll go through a tribulation and be put on the firing line than have to live my life in change. So I ask y'all, what do y'all think is harder? To be killed for your faith, or to live and constantly change and evolve? Yeah.
While you're still alive, there's still hope.
Yeah.
So I have to say killed.
Yeah.
I'd still go with the latter, because once you die, it's done.
But if you felt like that was the way you get in,
That was,
because some believers felt like, hey, if I'll get in if I die for the name of Hamashiach.
yeah, I do still think it's easier to just die.
Yeah.
Yeshua died.
Right.
Than to live constantly surrounded by things that you should not partake in.
Right.
Even though it is what's pleasing to the flesh.
Yeah. Right.
Is that kind of like with Paul when they told him not to go to Jerusalem?
Yeah.
And he was like, nah, I'm going anyway.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I think somebody grabbed the hem of his
Yeah.
shirt or something. And he was
like, threw the thing on his feet. Yeah, you're going to be bound.
Right. And he was like, cool. That's, like he was like, if I die for Hamashiach, then that's a blessing. So,
right.
Yeah, when you look at it that way, yes, it's still tough. Because I see what Anna talking about. It's tough to say I'm going to die.
You was going to say something else?
Yeah, I just feel like, I hope this don't sound crazy, but the longer that you're alive, there's more room for error. I would just rather get it over with. Like just go ahead and, do what you got to do, and I hope I make it in.
Yeah, and I think that's the belief, and that's why a lot of believers say, hey, a lot of believers teach thoroughly, we are going to go through some type of tribulation, because they feel like that is the only way to validate or confirm your faith. You have to seal it with your death. Yes.
I'm sorry. You said something earlier. You cannot share with Yahweh something without sharing his suffering. What did you say?
Right. You cannot share in his resurrection unless you share in his suffering. Yeah. And that's the way he died. Not the fact that he died. It's the way he died. Slow, torturous, painful, alone.
And with a level of shame.
With a level of shame,
like
yes.
You can't live, boy, you can't, there's no way that we're going to be able to live righteous without feeling it.
Yes.
Like sometimes I think we try, at least in this modern era, right, to still be normal and be righteous at the same time. And by normal, I really mean carnal.
Right.
Like, we want to prove that we still can, have a good time.
Yes.
We can still fit in. We can still, ain't nothing really changed about me except my faith. But one thing that we are but one thing that we are really attempting to do, especially with the Tuesday night life class, is to help us to not leave this line of demarcation between our faith and the rest of our life.
Right.
And if you really allow your faith and your life to be the same, to pattern the way that you live off of, your faith, that means you're going to suffer that level of exposure,
right?
That level of potential embarrassment. You know, somebody's gonna be like, now you used to be the first one on the dance floor when the music dropped. Where you at now? You're like, you're going to have to go through that.
Right.
Oh, now you too good to do so and so. Oh, here you go. Right. Like you're going to have to go through that the same way how Mashiach had to deal with, if you the son of man,
come down.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You know, like we can't escape it. Like there's no way to ease that, to soften that blow. Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to feel it and be okay with it.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's like you said. I knew when I was growing up. We always were taught the Great Tribulation. Anybody heard that term, Great Tribulation? Y'all ever heard that term? What's that? Yeah. And so we were always taught there's gonna have to be a Great Tribulation. And I had a friend. We were taught the rapture and then the Great Tribulation. And if you were living right, you would be raptured away. If you were left, you would have to go through the Great Tribulation. And I knew people that was like saying, hey, I'll wait it out to the rapture and then I'll do the Great Tribulation. I know people that said that. And I think in the back of some people's mind, I think that's what they're waiting on. Is that they're waiting for things to get bad before I kind of lock in. Yeah, or if I see something happen and then I'll lock in. I've heard even I said it sometimes is that, hey, I won't get on people so much. I'll wait for them for times to get hard and they come running. And I've seen people, times got hard and they didn't come running. They went the other way. And so, it's the way Hamashiach died is the way your inner man is going to have to die. So this is what we'll do for homework. Now we'll get this assignment. Anybody ever heard of the 7 last cries? Yeah, I know you have. Anybody heard of the 7 last cries? All right. All right. So, Sister Gianna, what are the 7 last cries?
I don't know verbatim, but watch.
You don't have to say verbatim, but the idea of it.
I just heard of it at Watch Night, but my girl out there.
All right, you want to explain, Brother Jay, what the 7 last cries are?
They were the 7 last things that Yeshua said before dying.
Right. The 7 last things before that Hamashiach said. So every Easter, they'll have a Good Friday. Everybody heard of Good Friday, right? So a lot of times churches will have a Good Friday service, and they'll have a number of preachers come up and preach the 7 last cries. And so each preacher will take a cry and then go up and preach a message on it. And so favorite last cry message I've ever heard was my uncle. He did it one year. My uncle was Bishop Brown. He was just a bad preacher. He still is. Still is. And I heard him preach on the 7 last cries. I'm like, man, I wonder one day will I ever preach the 7 last cries, what I'm going to say. Never did it. But what I'm going to ask everyone to do is look at the 7 last words that Yeshua said and try to relate it to your life and your inner man. All right. Yes.
Okay. Are you saying the 7 last statements or words? Because wasn't it, my God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Yeah, so like the 7 last statements.
Okay.
So like that whole thing. Like, can you ever think of a time where you felt like Yahweh didn't have your back? And what is that? And that's part of, that's a part of the dying process or the suffering process, not dying, but part of the suffering process. You know, in the things he said throughout. You might have to skip around because I don't think that each one is each place. And maybe tomorrow we'll put, what's that? Yeah, I'll put it on the Facebook page maybe tomorrow and share it. And or you might could even Google it. You Google 7 last cries, and it should automatically come up. So I'll probably Google it and then paste it and then put a nice Faith Temple of Hope background on it.
So we're including when Pilate was talking to him?
No, just when he was on the
just on the cross.
Yep. And just what he said there. And then can you relate that to your experience from your inner man, from the standpoint of you suffering now? And then we'll talk about that next week. So we did not. What slide were we on? What number was that? But y'all know the slide. Y'all know the slide? All right, so we didn't get to it again. Yeah, so that's all right. I appreciate y'all on the input everybody gave. What's that? You didn't have to say it. 21 to go. All right, I might need to start adding some. Cause I didn't finish Philippians in those slides. No, the book. I did finish 3, I think. All right, so yeah, we'll go over the 7 last cries that Elohim made, and then we'll relate that to us. And if you feel like, hey, I don't really know, then we'll talk about it. If you feel like, hey, I don't know if I can relate to that one. There's one that I think everybody might look at and say, I don't know if I can relate to that one. But we'll show how it is relatable. All right? Anything else? Any statements, any questions, any?
I had a question about Paul saying, and the fellowship of his suffering.
Yeah.
Is he saying, because I know you were saying that that's something we go through by ourselves. Mm-hmm. And when I think of fellowship, I think of with others.
Yeah.
Is that something that he's saying that we're going to go through together, or?
If we are going to go through it, the ones that go through it are going to have to go through it together. And that was the premise of the conversation, is that not everyone is going to fellowship, is going to suffer. He that suffereth in the flesh does what? Cease from sin. All right? Everybody said it together. He that suffers in the flesh has what? All right. He that suffers in the flesh has done what? So, is everyone willing to cease from sin? And if they are not, will they suffer with you? Y'all can answer that. No, right? All right. So if they will they suffer with you? So that is a type of fellowship that you have. Was there a fellowship that Yeshua had with the man that was on the tree with him? What did he ask Yeshua? And if y'all want, we could go to it real quick. All right, what did he say? He said, remember me when you go into what? Right. And then what did Yeshua say to him? He said what? What did he say? All right. Right. This day you shall be with me in paradise. And everybody thinks that they mean when they die together, they were going to automatically go to paradise. They weren't saying that. But Yeshua, what he was saying is today your ticket has been punched. Like Yeshua says, today is the day of salvation. And did he say this day you're going into paradise? What did he say? With me. That's the fellowship of his suffering. Because as Yeshua was dying, he was dying. And he knew the only way his death would not be in vain, that the man that was on the tree, is if Yeshua would get him in. And he knew the only way that he could get in was how? Through HaMashiach. What's that? He believed. He believed he was the way, the truth, and the life. So not only did he believe who Elohim was, or whom Yeshua was at that time, he believed in the resurrection. He believed in the kingdom. And so imagine his dying moments. And what do you think he was thinking as they were dying? No, the other man.
If he believed enough, if he knew enough to believe that Yeshua was Mashiach, then he trusted what he said. It wasn't like, it wasn't a let me cross my fingers and hope. You know,
right.
That there had to be a comfort, you know, of knowing.
And I think I'm asking. I think we're all trying to put words in mouth in things, but I would surmise he was thinking, boy, if I could just get through this death, this painful, slow death, then I will, when I get through this, I'll be with him in his kingdom. And I think that's what we have to keep in mind. If I could get through this, whatever, what's that? Yeah. If I could get through this process, this growing, this developing, I will be with him in his kingdom. And that's the fellowship of his suffering. And as anyone that grows, anyone that develops character, will realize not everybody's willing to do this. Not everybody's willing to do this. And the ones that are willing to do it, you have such an admiration and a appreciation and a love for, like I have for everyone, all of you, because you all are willing to take this journey. And I know it's not easy. I know it hasn't been easy, and there's a lot towards the growth process that we're all feeling our way through. So that's what I wish I can really answer questions a lot quicker than I do. Please, everyone, if you ask a question, please don't be discouraged about the long answer. Please, I'm working on trying to cut the answers down. I know I'm not even going to ask. I know some of y'all probably think that I ain't going to ask, because I know it's going to take a minute and a half. Like, it's going to take forever to get this answer out. And I'm not asking for a dissertation. I'm asking for an answer. Oh, really? Oh, thank you. Oh. That you said going to or don't? Oh, thank you. Did y'all hear what he said? Say that on the mic, please.
He wants to record it.
Changing my answer.
No.
No, I said sometimes I hope that you don't cut it short.
Thank you. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, we know the surface answer sometimes. Sometimes we need like the deeper, you know?
Yeah, I just don't want to wear everybody's patience. There's a scripture, I think Solomon said it. In much studying there is weariness of flesh. And I don't want to get y'all flesh wearies. The goal was to have this maybe an hour, and then the second service, the message 20 minutes. I always wanted the second. That was the goal from the very. Remember I used to say that? I used to say that when we first started. Every once in a while I'll do like 15, 20 minutes. I did break the short record in Tabernacle that first day. But if you average it out, you know what I'm saying? It was long. Even if you average it out, but that does go into the average. That 10 minutes. So like you average 10 minutes with the, well, I'm not going to say that how long it was at the last day. All right. Well, thank Yahweh for all things. Any other questions? Anything else?
I found the 7 cries.
You did?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to mention them real quick?
I can say it real quick.
Okay.
Father, forgive them.
Uh-huh.
Today you will be with me in paradise.
Uh-huh.
Woman, behold your son.
Uh-huh.
Behold your mother.
Uh-huh.
My God, why have you forsaken me?
Uh-huh.
I thirst.
Uh-huh.
It is finished.
Uh-huh.
Father, into your hands I commend my spirit.
All right, those are the 7 cries, the 7 statements. Yes. Yeah, if y'all want to. You don't have to if you don't want to, or you can share some or not. Other assignment? Sure. So, all right. So we'll have those 7 last things, and that way, and then it give you some insight on just help us look at things a different way when we're looking at HaMashiach's suffering, where it's not just a story, where it's relevant to our lives. All right. Anything else? We're good? All right. Thank y'all for all things. Let's end this with prayer, and then we'll break to the last service, I'll say. Eternal, we thank you for all things. You are rich in mercy, long-suffering, kind to us in all things. Let us labor as HaMashiach is formed in us. Let us travail, Eternal Father. For as all creation is in pain and travail, waiting for the manifestation or the birth of the sons of Elohim, we ourselves do groan, as written in the scriptures, within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, even the adoption of our bodies. So strengthen us, Yahweh, that we may endure hardness as good soldiers. Help us that we can number our days, apply them to wisdom, walk circumspect, live a life that is pleasing in your sight. We thank you for all things, everyone. Remember, young Niles, Sister Jasmine. Remember Sister Stephanie and her grandmother. And you touch her, strengthen her. All be well. Strengthen the family in this hour, in this time. We thank you. We need you, O Father of grace. Thank you for all things. In Yeshua's name, we say, so let it be.